Alright, so I figured while I'm out here, I just made that other video with the problems I'm having with this engine. I'm gonna just take the engine off because I can't run it with as much oil as this thing's leaking. But I figured I'd make a video on showing you guys how to remove this Briggs Stratton IC Gold 15 horsepower overhead valve engine that I put on this Craftsman lawnmower. Figure some people might, want to see how to do this. So on these, you might have this little plug right here. That's for your headlights. All it does is just unclip. Super simple. And with the hoods on these right here, simply take it, you pull it up just a little bit, and you pull up straight up on it. And it comes straight up off of it. It's super simple and easy on these. Move the camera back. Alright, now let me put this up a little bit higher so you guys can see a little better. Hold on. 1 second here. Should be a lot better to see about this though. Let me move this over here real quick. Alright, now then, I'm just going to use a 17mm wrench to remove the bottom piece. I know it's not a 17mm, but I didn't put it on there that hard, and I got plenty of extra bolts and screws to take it off with. I think it's like a 15 or something. I'm not sure what it is in regular sizes, but the best way to do one of these down here is to just let me turn this a little bit. Now the best way to do this though is to take your wrench and you put it on the screw pulling back this way, and you just want to tap it, or if you can hold the pulley and then just give it a few bumps, and that makes it come straight off. That's the best way to get one of these off. If you don't have an impact wrench, just bump it with whatever you have. Like usually, if they're really hard on there, I just take a hammer and just hit the end of the wrench I'm using to get it off. It's super easy. Like I said, I put this on yesterday, so this wasn't on there that tight. And here's the screw right here. And there's this little plate under here that keeps your belt in track. I need to take the belt off first. Best way to do that is to rotate the engine while trying to push the belt off. Let's see if I can do this real quick. Oh, come on. This won't work with me. A second here. Make sure you have, well, it's all the way down. That keeps tension on it whenever you let off of it, but this thing's on here pretty good. So let me move this out of the way first. You can usually just move this piece under here right out of the way. Get it off right here. There we go. Alright. Then this right here drops off. Then your belt will too. Over here. Oh boy, there's a bunch of these things just rolling around. Alright, now then, for this specific engine, it takes a 14mm under the bottom. Pretty sure. That's just the size I'm using. But yeah, 14mm. And I just got a standard wrench with just a little extension because I can definitely recommend you use an extension on this. I'll take the camera off this little stand I got it on, and I'll show you guys this process up under here. Angle. Alright, should be able to see good like that. Now then, 14mm wrench with an extension. There's one right here. You just simply, they weren't that tight. Then this one, oh, just on it. Okay, here. Yeah, these aren't that tight on there because, like I said, I just put it on. Come over here. And they put multiple mounting bolts and holes on these engines. It's so if you ever want to exchange the engine, or what they made it for really is because they have like a million different engines. They put every type of engine you could think of on one of these lawnmowers. And Briggs and Stratton and Kohler, they don't use the same mounting system. Because engine manufacturers, they are always got to be different about something. Boy, I'm getting oil all over me from this oil it's draining out. This was all having to move right here. Oh, finger off. This little piece right here. I have this unbolted right now so it can move freely, but it basically sets on there to keep your belt from slipping off because of how these work. Let me see if I can get these bolts off now. I still gotta unscrew them. Yeah, but it's super easy to remove one of these. And the bolts aren't really in there that tight either. Yeah, but I'm taking this engine off because I gotta fix the sump on it. It needs to be like re-silicone. That's what they use on most of these, is silicone to keep it from leaking oil and stuff. And here's the one bolt right here. 14mm, pretty sure it's a 14. Yeah, that's a 14 for sure. It fits nice. Boy, stuff's getting dirty. Yeah, I'll video the process of rehooking this engine up and everything, because I'm sure someone along the lines would like to see it, because they probably messed something up or put something in the wrong place whenever they took theirs off, or you know, something could have just fallen off and they don't know where it goes. And if you don't want to watch me unscrewing this, you can just like skip this video a little bit, or skip it a little bit up to when I actually start working on the other stuff. I'll get to that in a second, but it's two. And this screw the screw over here that's behind it, like your brake thing, that you have to have the brake pulled in to be able to access that. I know when I first took this off, I was kind of confused, or first did one of these, I was confused on that. Like, how the heck do they expect you to get this with a wrench, like with a 14mm wrench? That'd take forever. It's not easy to get to still, but at least you can use a wrench on it. Oh boy, still doesn't want to come off. Also, if you see this big spring over there, that's not what's supposed to be on this, but I had to give this one more tension because of, you know, I'm using it with such a small pulley on the back to make it go fast. It needs a lot more spring tension on it. I tell you what, that spring works really well too. I'm not sure what I took it off of, but it works really well for this. Well, come on. Oh, so close. Come on, just a little more. Alright, whew. Got that one off. Let's see how many. 1, 2, 3. 3. I forgot this one up here. Oh, I was missing one. Sorry. And you can see up here, screw will probably just come out by hand, but yeah, you can see a little screw on. And it only has one way to mount it, so you gotta make sure that you have the right mounting system for whatever you're putting this on. But if you see like a bunch of different bolt holes, like on the frame of the engine or the lawnmower you're putting it in, I wouldn't worry about it. Especially the Craftsman frames, everyone I've seen so far, from like the newest to the oldest, they all have the same like bunch of mounting holes for all different engines. Alright, give me 1 second here. My hand is kind of completely soaked in oil. I gotta get a towel. I tell you what though, these Harbor Freight shop towels, these things are amazing. Just like I got right here, a set of Harbor Freight shop towels. And I got a mounting thing for my my toolbox to mount it to. But yeah, I'll pop all this off real quick. It's a mess getting all these things off and they start leaking oil. Yeah. Alright. Now then, take you back off. Alright, so next thing to do on one of these Briggs Strattons, oh boy, hand is still pretty oily, but I just have the, you can see how this is set up on this right here. It's supposed to bolt down to this. You just unbolt this, and then this right here should this should just come up on it. And like I said in the last video, I don't have a good way to mount it. It doesn't mount to here, so I just have it set in there. But at least I can control the throttle. But on these right here, you turn it and then it just pull it out. You can kind of see how it's in there. And to reset one of these, if it doesn't go all the way up, right here on the throttle, this right here is choke. So that when that pushes in like that, that's your choke. So if you pull this all the way up where it's got this little notch in it at full throttle, it's got this little notch in it. That's where your full throttle point is. Above that is choke. So if you pull it all the way up, and if it's good and hard, you put this on it, pull it all the way back, and give it a little bit of tension and tighten it down, and it'll be good to go like that too. There goes my camera stand. Now I'll also show you, I take the wires and stuff off of this one. Now I don't have these really mounted on here. Let me make sure the key's off. I don't really have these wires connected, so you know, just pull it apart. That one, orange one, and that one. Alright, and the last thing we need to take off is your starter. The starter wire, I guess. It might be a 13. Let me check real quick. Nope, it's not 13. Actually, I have one over here. Just come off. Might be that. Nope. Screw it. I'm gonna be lazy. You can do it like that too. It won't hurt nothing unless it's just so tight on there. Yeah, you can see, you know, just show you for that. Unbolt that. Pop that off. Put the bolt back on it. You'll thank me later for that. Trust me, I lose stuff all the time. Now and then this. Let's see, is there anything else? Nope. Whole motor should just pop right off. There's nothing else connected to it. I don't have the fuel. The fuel line's not connected to it, but there's these little clips on these. You can see like it's got a green one on that one back there. You take a wrench and you clamp it. Like you basically just squeeze it and pull it back, and that'll take that off. And you can see how the fuel line will be on here. You just pull it off, and if you have any fuel in it, if it's one of these type of gas tanks, just flip it over where one of these little holes are or something, and that'll usually keep the gas from coming out. But I'll let this motor off and show you what I mean by the frames having a bunch of different mounting holes. Let me just move this somewhere real quick. One of these engines aren't really that heavy either, but yeah, mostly what I do. Well, I don't even know if I want to pick this thing up from the bottom. Boy, she is. Actually, let me get some paper towels right here, because boy, this thing is just a leaking oil. Oh, she's rolling on me. Well, let me put her in gear real quick, so maybe she won't roll. Ain't got no brake on it. No, I don't really need that one so much. Oh, they're a little heavy, but you can see right here up under the bottom of it. Now then, I'm just going to set this one straight up on the ground like that. Let me take you back off the camera stand. Now then, one of the problems I have with this is one of these bolts under here came loose. I think it got stripped. Here's the thing moving a little bit, but there's the underside of this. It really doesn't look too bad. Like I said, I cleaned this whole thing up. But, you know, I'll show you these motor mounts. Let me wipe all this up real quick. See, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then they're all the same on this one. Let me wipe all this up real quick. Yep, they do have a bunch of different mounting holes for this. And you know, you can put any muffler you want on this thing too, just about. You know, it can go out the side on these, like the big black lawnmower, the Craftsman I have. I would put a muffler on mine, but these holes right here, they're too thin to fit just like a regular thing on it. But I'm just still thinking of what I'm gonna do on this though. But that motor over there, it's got to have that oil leak fixed on it. Wipe all this up real good. Yeah, and here's your focus. Okay. Put something here to lay my arm on it so I can show you. Here's your solenoid. This one's a or I don't know how they remember the post, but this one has 2 different posts on it. So that's how you can tell. Like if yours, I think it's a 3 or 4 post solenoid is what they call it. But if it has 1, it's a 3, and I think if it has 4, I guess it's 4. It's a 4. Here's your brake safety switch right here. So whenever I think that's for your brake. Yeah, that one's for your brake. But whenever you let me show you real quick. Whenever you let off your brake, it pushes a button right there, and that basically it won't start if that button's pressed in. It's a safety mechanism. Here's your steering and everything on one of these basic stuff. And yeah, still don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but this thing needs a little bit of work, but I'm gonna work on it. I'm hoping I can get the opposed twin Briggs running and going here soon. I guess I'm thinking of just swapping around parts until I can get everything to go right, but I don't know about this motor right here yet. I might or I might not. Just depends on whatever's easier for me, because I've just been through so much like time and money on this. I don't know, actually I spent $50 on the lawnmower itself. Then the motor I put on it, that cost me $50 as well, or the old Kohler. But I can say I got my $50 out of that old motor, because I took the carburetor off and I still got a bunch of parts. It's calling me. But anyway, that'll be it for this video here today, working on this Craftsman LT1000. It ain't too hard to work on, like I said. 4 bolts. They're all you can put any engine you want on this, because it has all the different mounting holes for it. But that'll be all for this video. If you guys like this, give the video a like if you did. Subscribe to my channel, it helped me out a lot. I'd really like to have some more subscribers. But yep, see you in another video.